Mackenzie. I'm operator at BlueScope.
Shane Bird. Here at Western Port I'm a process operator, but I'm also the site delegate for the union. So the change to the shift rosters, that was probably one of the most painful, drawn out scenarios that I think that I've ever dealt with here. We're talking 3 years plus.
We went from working 12.6 roster, which included working weekends, and they moved us to a Monday to Thursday roster. Both those weeks we would have worked 48 hours. So for us it was pretty simple. We've easily worked over our hours. Yeah. And we normally have a 4 or 5 day break between rosters, so we're having a 1 day break. So I did the maths on it, took it to the company, and they argued that 1-to-1 roster finished, the new one started, and each roster averaged 38 hours. I said, yeah, but you've got to complete a roster cycle before we can start a new one.
And each time they came up with the standard rhetoric that, oh no, it works this way, you guys don't understand how the system works. There were so many times during that we were actually going to turn around and say, do you know what, forget it. The legwork that had to be done by Rob and myself, more so Rob, because like he was really embedded in it, he was involved in it, so he had to explain to me a little bit how the maths worked. And once it sort of clicked in my head, I thought, you know what, this doesn't just apply to our department, which is where it all originally started. The ramifications could be actually huge because there was other departments that went through similar scenarios, and we just sat back and went, this is going to be bigger than Ben-Hur, and we just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And
so I didn't give up. Went and got some advice from the union solicitors and confirmed that, yep, you've got to complete a roster cycle in order for a new one to start.
We lined all our ducks up and we had all the maths to the best of our ability. We had everything lined up and ready, so we knew once it was an issue, all the back work was done by us as delegates and with Colin, and everyone agreed that what we were saying was correct. So we knew that we were right when we approached the company with it. And every month I was bringing it up, and every month I was told to drop it. It's a dead issue, you're incorrect in the way you're thinking. Came back and they said, oh, we've had to invest, 300, 400, 500 hours into working out just for this department. We have to go back day by day over 3 years, and every individual is different. So it was a very labour-intensive process.
Well, I had to look at everybody across the site, so I had to look at 300 to 400 people that would affect it, and I think it affected 130 to 150.
They expressed their concern over how much time was being dedicated to it, and my response was, well, if you had done it right in the first instance, because every time they did the shift change, Rob and myself would go to the managers and go, you can't change the shift on this date, you won't meet your minimum requirements, you have to do it here. At the end of the day, I just said to them, if you had have listened to us at the start and you had have done the right thing from the start, as one department in this business did, they always did it that way, and they told me as such, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have to spend all this time and money trying to fix a problem that should never have been a problem in the first place.